Hi, welcome to the Gamesplainer. I'm Jeff the Gamesplainer and today I'm gamesplaining Trois. So Trois is a slightly older title. I believe it was in 2011 from memory. It plays from 2 to 4 players. It looks a little bit older than a lot of the more current games. Why am I doing Trois? Why am I doing a review of Trois if it's that old? It's because this is the spiritual successor to Black Angel, which I did a few weeks back, and I said I need to get Trois done so we can get a feel for how the two games look next to each other. If you are not into space stuff, Trois is a really good game that uses very vastly similar mechanisms. If you are more into space stuff, Black Angel is probably the way to go. I kind of enjoyed this game, but at the same point, trying to get my way through the rulebook has taken me a lot longer than I expected to do. Simply because of the way it's written out. A lot of the really important information is over in a little box over on this side in smaller font than the main rules. And so it's very easily missed. And so actually getting my head through the rules was a bit tricky. What I ended up doing was I had to go to YouTube to watch a few videos to get a feel for how the game played, have a play, then go back and look through the rules and go, that video got this wrong, that video got this wrong. This is what should be happening because now I understand what I'm doing. So having these videos is actually a really important thing because it helps us get through rulebooks that are not the easiest thing to do, especially with games like this. And I've had a lot of games that are really similar to that, like they're good games when you're playing them, but the actual reading of the rules and getting through that rulebook is really tough. In fact, I fear that I had the similar situation with Black Angel of getting through that rulebook and understanding exactly what was happening. The essence of this game is you have 3 different buildings, which are different colored dice that you are working on. So you're putting your meeples on those 3 buildings. That tells you how many of each colored die you're going to roll. You roll those dice, you can then use them. You can use other players' dice or the bank dice, I guess if you wish to call them that. But you have to pay for them. And if you're using more dice, it costs you more to bring other guys in. So there's money economy that you need to be aware of. There's also this influence track. And you need to be aware of that too. There are ways to push your way up the influence track, but a lot of the stuff that you can do is the excess turns or the excess stuff costs you influence. And so having your guys further up that influence track is really important because it allows you to then do a lot more stuff. And then there's just points. And honestly, at the end of the game, the points is all that matter. There are hidden points, so when you take point cards in or point tiles in, you're placing them face down, so you can't look around and see who has the most points. You can obviously see who has the most number of tiles, but you don't know if the other side of that says 1, 3, 5, or 10. There are also some hidden end-game points, so it's on cards that you get at the very beginning of the game, and they affect everyone at the table. So if someone who's accidentally done really well with one of the things that you've got in front of you, then they're going to get a heap of points at the end of the game. But there's a little bit of kind of game in trying to convince people of what is actually on your card, even though it's something different than what's on your card. Each turn starts with having to get rid of some of the dice that you have in front of you to deal with some black dice or defend against dice, I guess, that are coming in, and some other stuff will happen. And there's a whole bunch of stuff going on at the board that you kind of just need to get, if I do this, then that affects this, to affect that, to enable you to do stuff. I think that's where the game comes in. You really start thinking a lot about this game. What can I do to help me be able to do something in future? I really want to do that card, but in order to do that card, I need to have this much money. I need to have this much influence. How do I get to those points where I have enough money and enough influence to enable that action to happen? I kind of like this game. This is one of those games that I hear the title of quite often because of other YouTubes or podcasts talking about it because it's one of their favorite games. I haven't to this point played it. It's been sitting on my shelf of shame for a really long time, but I haven't actually played it to this point. I kind of really enjoyed it. I'm glad that I've had the push to actually get this onto the table to play it. If I'm playing this or Black Angel, I don't know which one is actually the preference. I think it actually depends on who I'm playing against. I have my head around Black Angel better, but I fear that's just because I've played it more. And there's a couple of nuances in the rules of Black Angel that have streamlined things from this. So I fear that Black Angel is actually a more comfortable game to play. But I also have players that I play with regularly who dislike space themes, so I'll tend to come back to Trois as a way of playing. Now, Trois does have a expansion. I can't remember it off the top of my head at the moment, but there is at least one expansion out on Trois, which adds a extra die color and a thing around the outside of the track for you to do and to chase after. I haven't played that, so I'm not going to comment on it, just other than saying it exists. Look, I think that I will leave it there. Please go ahead and watch my gameplay and Gamesplanation to get a feel for how the game actually plays, get a feel for the rules, and let me know what you think. Just comment below. If you have any games that you wish to be Gamesplained, please shoot me an email at thegamesplainer@gmail.com. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at thegamesplainer to keep up to date with the games I'm playing. Subscribe to my videos to keep up to date with the games that I'm gamesplaining. And until next time, enjoy gaming.